Hello. So I was supposed to be in a meeting right now, but it's not happening at the moment. Maybe it'll happen later, or I sent them a message. We can reschedule for a different day. But it's 11:11 on 11:11, so I decided why not make a video. That's special angel number. We all seem to be leaning into that a lot lately. Those numbers. So what I was just working on is my Journal, and kind of the way it works is if you get a college ruled notebook, there's 32 blank spaces per page, not counting the big title space, at the top where you can write the date and whatever. Um, Starting below that, you got 32 blank spaces. So, pre-planning for tomorrow, Tuesday, November the 12th, which is the mini day, is the day of the money bender, and it's gonna be day 10 of the raw vegan challenge. This being day 9. Yesterday was kind of a cheat day. Starting from 5 a.m. and going until 11, which 11 o'clock isn't written because I've just got from 5 in each space. 28 of the spaces are a half-hour blocks, and 4 of the spaces are 1-hour blocks. So 1 o'clock is one of my masterclass slash masterminds, and it goes from roughly 1 to 2:30. So I've got 1 to 2. I don't put a space. I've got 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock is just one space on the paper. And then from 4 to 5 o'clock is another master class. So 4 to 5 is just one space. And then my last call goes for like 2.5 hours. So it starts at 6:30. So 7 to 8 and 8 to 9. And then 9 o'clock. Those three numbers are all together. So 7 to 8 and 8 to 9 are also only 1-hour blocks. So I've got 28 half-hour blocks and 4 1-hour blocks on my Journal paper, because there's 32 blank spaces in total that you can use. So when you're making your own Journal, you can use that format if it works for you. Or, of course, you can mix it up, like if you've got a lot of classes or a lot of meetings and you don't need to break down every half hour because it's just one thing that happens for an hour or two, or several things like that happen for like hour or 2 hours. You can, kind of depends on how long you're going to be awake. Like this is assuming I'm going to be awake from roughly 5 o'clock in the morning until 10 to 11 o'clock at night. I may go to bed earlier or later depending on how the day goes. My routine is still pretty not like totally locked in consistent every day because I got so much going on that every day like has to be its own unique creation, depending on what's active and present for that day. And it just passed 3:33 in the video. Um, I could end the video now, but what I'm gonna do with this video is start out with this exposition, but I'm gonna go make a little meal because I haven't got to do a mukbang slash eating, fellowship, sharing, type of video in a little bit. So I'm gonna do another one of those right now while I've got some free time in my schedule. Let's see. Yeah, because the meeting I was gonna have would have gone until roughly 12 o'clock. So I've got some free time, enough to make myself a little raw vegan salad and eat it on camera. And it's kind of funny. I've noticed that eating on camera is one of those things that whenever I've seen like other people do it, sometimes it kind of triggers me a little bit. So that's another thing I've noticed is that like people have shared their experience from my shares, which is like essentially like, oh, the stuff that I'm sharing is triggering people. Whoa, I never knew that. I never expected that to be a thing. So hooray, celebrate that. It's like if I was the old me, if I had known that the stuff I was going to share would trigger somebody, then, I'd be like, oh no, I don't want to do that. Uh, I want to be a people pleaser. I want everyone to like me. That's kind of like, it was kind of like my mindset growing up was like, I want to be friends with everyone and I want to experience this harmony, fellowship, and intimacy. But I was so quiet, so shy, so self suppressed that I wouldn't barely talk at all or share anything with anyone. Even the people that were close to me that I loved, I always held myself back in some way, in many big ways, significantly. And it really crippled my life, my social life, and my social skills. So, this journey that I've been on, this adventure, it's really been about breaking free of all that shit and spreading my wings, putting myself out there, and just like the fact that I can trigger someone, meaning I bring something up that was inside them, I activated that, and it could be in a positive or a negative perspective or a neutral perspective. We get to choose how we frame things and how we look at things. So when something comes up and it's like a negative thing, let's say I trigger annoyance, because I would talk so much, or I trigger like jealousy, like, oh, why is he experiencing so much transformation so rapidly, And it's like people don't see the struggle and the procrastination that I've been putting myself through all my life. And now I'm in this phase where, like, I'm done with that shit, It's time to let that go. It's time to grow. It's time to go. It's time to blow up and just unleash that infinite abundance that I know I was born to embody because I was given the name, which is a blessing, which is a state. The name Joseph means God will increase. That means I am abundance. So, like, I've struggled with this procrastination and this scarcity mindset and this keeping myself small, and it's time to transmute all of that. So, I'm gonna drink a little bit of water here. And it's funny, whenever I talked in my head, I always am working on my word, either being silent and being still, know that I am, just be fully present, hold space, be quiet, I haven't been practicing that part of it so much, but whenever I do speak, I want that voice, my inner voice, to be positive and empowering and giving life to the things that deserve to have more life given to them. Those positive and uplifting things, both for myself and everyone and everything around me. Just that infinite expansion from a place of unconditional love. Yeah, but yeah, it's almost like when I'm speaking that word in my mind, what am I saying? Who am I saying it to? It's almost like I'm preaching to a crowd, I'm practicing because I want to get up in front of people and I want to be able to speak and use my word and have it make a positive difference. It's like I'm saying all this stuff and it needs to be valuable. It's not just shit that I'm saying that I'm just throwing out there the way that most people, we learn to talk, but when we're learning to talk, it's kind of like if you're coming at it from a place of just trying to go along to get along, you're just making small talk. You probably maybe indulge in like gossip or whatever. You just kind of go with the flow of whatever mediocre or shitty thing is being discussed, and you might. I really am aware of things like gossip and using the word in a way that's disempowering, in a way that it subtracts from life, that brings ourselves and other people down. And I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. I'm lifting everyone up. I'm giving life and positivity with my word. So, yeah, let me take a drink here. I guess I'm a little chatty today, huh? I'm gonna go make a salad. So let's see. I had one not that long ago, but this is the only opportunity I'm gonna get to make a video like this. Most likely during my day because of my schedule. The way I got it set, I'm gonna be doing like some these 5 Tibetan rites, and then I need to write my affirmations. I've got like 5 different ones that I'm writing right now. Um, Apparently, writing them makes more of a difference than saying them, for like your subconscious. So I'm focused on writing. Sometimes I'll say them too whenever I have a chance. And then I've got a phone call with one of my friends. Hopefully they'll be available so we can talk about some of the stuff that happened yesterday that's important to what's going on with me right now. And then I've got one of my uh, compassion key programs that I paid for. I got 3 of them, or 4 right now actually. It's um, I Am Week 2. It's like a soul created wealth thing. Edward Manick's compassion key, and I've got that scheduled. This session should take about 2.5 hours, so big commitment, but it's very transformative work, so it's worth the time in my estimation, especially because it's transforming my relationship to money, which I'm like, I need to bring in more abundance. And that means being able to receive it and also to give it, because value circulates. Let's see. After that, I got some sweeping to do outside. One of those is just one of my daily chores. And I've got a video that I want to listen to that I scheduled. I started it and got a few minutes into it earlier, but I didn't have a whole half hour to go through the whole thing. So I'm going to listen to that while I'm sweeping. Then I got 10 phone calls to make every day. I'm going to focus on knocking some of them out, because I know that most of the people I reach out to probably aren't going to answer. And if they do, then it's like, oh, okay. I've only got a half hour block right now, so either I could have a 20 to 30 minute conversation with a person if they answer, or more likely, I'll talk to them and we'll set up a time, maybe either probably tomorrow, possibly later on tonight, to actually have, a 20, 30 minute conversation, however long it goes. And it's just a connection call, catch up with each other. I ended up talking to a relative last night, and it went for like an hour and a half, and it was pretty awesome, because it's someone that I haven't really got to connect with in that way before. And the thing about those 3 things, that harmony, fellowship, and intimacy, is that when you see what those are and you break through and you realize I get to be the source of these things in my life. So yesterday I spent like 5 to 6 hours in church. There was so much, it was a beautiful experience of fellowship, with like believers and stuff like that. It was just really, really nice to experience that. And then, having, being on the phone for like 2 hours, with like my loved ones and relatives, that's like growing that intimacy and harmony experience with them. It all weaves together. So even though there were setbacks and challenges yesterday, I choose to give power to celebrate the things that were life-giving and that were growing, and things worth celebrating. So after the calls, got a half hour block to wash dishes, which there probably won't be very many, but I always want to stay on top of it. Then the next, I'll be sharing my journal. I've got a goal of sharing it in like 10 different spaces every day. I haven't really been meeting it because it's like so many. It's like where, I'm starting to break through that though. Like it can be as simple as like sharing it in a comment of a YouTube video. Like I'm not just gonna dump my shit. I engage with the video and I leave a heartfelt, comment that contributes to the conversation, and then I weave in my offer at the end of it, which is basically my free lead magnet teaching how to do the journal that I talked about in the beginning, and reaching out to people and bringing them in to what I have to offer. So yeah, I'm making steps towards that. And then need to clean the bathroom. So where did I write there? Oh, distinguished contribution. That's one of the distinctions from the Visionary Leadership Program for this week. Every week I aim to do like all of them, at least one video for each. It's just kind of like, you only have to do one video and one essay, but I like to do a video for each one of them just to kind of step into that space and explore it and embody it. And then I've got several mentors and people that are helping me that I'm going to schedule calls with, some of them or each of them. and that way I'll have that done, and I can keep connecting and you know, keep them up to date with where I'm at. Um, then I've got a call. Let's see, with another friend that I reached out to on Messenger. If I can get a hold of them. Then I've got some calls scheduled with like some relatives and loved ones. I've got it scheduled. We don't have it scheduled. I'm just gonna see if I can get a hold of them. And then I had a friend that I almost got to talk to again, but I called them, didn't get an answer. By the time they called me back, I was already on the phone with my relative, so we didn't get to get in touch last night. And then after that, 9 o'clock, I brush my teeth. 9:30, take a shower. 10:30, I'll read Inner Circle Secrets and Wheel of Time, Crown of Swords, possibly. Maybe I'll go to bed early if I feel like it. But planning to most likely be in bed by about 11. So yeah, that's kind of a brief overview of my schedule for the day, what it looks like. And let's see if it might be helpful to just show you what it looks like. That's the schedule side. Monday, today's date. This is the mini day of the mind. This is my raw vegan challenge, day 9, starting from when I woke up about 7:30, going to 10:30, 11. And this is the journal side where I wrote what I've done so far, which I need to update about the little masterclass that I was just in. Just put a check there. And I took good notes on it this time, so keep up with that and write the date. Alright, without further ado, it's time to go to the kitchen and make my salad. So, let's see, what do I have for ingredients? Got celery, spinach, kale, blueberries, and blackberries. I think that, I want to say something else is there, but that might be all of it for the time being. Oh, mushrooms, that's the other thing. Yeah, throw some mushrooms in there too. I like those quite a bit. Oh yeah, and when I put them in this bowl, those greens, they really take up a lot of space. Go, set that right there. I gotta be careful with this table not to put hot or cold stuff directly on the table, so I'm gonna keep it on the tablecloth. So if the camera gets blocked, bear with me. I gotta be careful where I put stuff. So start with some celery. Close the door here. And my roommate was kind enough to chop up some celery for me. Thank you very much. Put some of that in the bowl. Get a nice little foundation going at the bottom. There we go. Whoops. Put that in there. Alrighty. And then I'll start working in some other stuff. There's some mushrooms. This is some kale. Put some of that in there next. I don't have any cherry or grape tomatoes right now, otherwise I would include those in here as well. Let's see, we got some of that. A little bit more in there. The greens take up a lot of space. I've got to be careful not to overwhelm the bowl with those. Alrighty, put some of these mushrooms in there next. Bag of mushrooms isn't that big, so I want to be careful not to overdo it, but also I really love the mushrooms, so I want there to be plenty of those in there too. Because otherwise, if it's just greens, it gets kind of boring. Mushrooms really help mix it up. And then the fruits, I don't know, it's kind of an awkward combination, the fruits and the greens and the mushrooms. Like, it's, like, I don't know. You wouldn't think they go together, but I'm just like, this is what I got, so I'm putting this in the salad, and it's gonna work, you know? It's pretty good. But I'm acquiring these new tastes, you know? Let's see. Oh, yeah. We got spinach to add as well. So here's spinach. Got a big old container full of that. Okay, put some spinach in here. There we go. Let's see if I can get that stuff down there. Go, get it nice and full, put a little bit more celery in there. And I don't want to get it too full because otherwise it'll start spilling and making a mess. I want to be able to kind of mix it up with my spoon a little bit and start eating it. That. Go ahead and put this celery back up. Get the lid on there. It's kind of awkward the way the lid works with this container. It's almost like it doesn't work, but it should. Oh wait, I realized what I just did. I'm an idiot. Okay, here we go. You gotta put it on just right. There's a big lip and a little lip, and I was just trying to put it on, thinking they were the same size. Duh. Okay, that works much better when you actually find the shape of it. Alright, time for some blueberries and blackberries. So, let's see. Start with some blueberries. Put those in here. There we go. Alrighty. Good on that. And we got some blackberries. Get those in there. There we go. Alrighty, let's see. It's almost over full here. I'm trying to see if I can stir it without spilling it and making a mess here. Just go ahead and start breaking some of it up while I stir it. Suppose, I guess something like this, maybe a really big bowl would be good just to have plenty of space, because the greens take up so much space, even though it's like, it's technically not like a massive like filling amount of food. That's kind of where like the mushrooms help and the fruit a little bit. It's like you could just eat handfuls of this green stuff and like just go on and on. And it's like, not really, maybe it's like, I don't know. I guess if you eat enough of it, I'm sure it can be filling, but I have a tendency to quickly want more. It's part of it's like, dealing with like hunger and cravings and stuff, and like eating in this new way. It's like developing discipline to eat, and then when I feel like eating again, in such a short time later, it's like, well, am I actually going to eat again like that and just eat all the stuff up in one day? probably not the best approach. Trying to make it last, you know. It's fresh, you know, make it last. Don't make it last like weeks to where they go bad before I eat all of it, but keep that balance to where, you know, I can make it last as long as it ought to last, while also keeping myself in a good state of putting food in my body and whatnot. Okay, got it stirred up a little bit. Heading back to my room. And no, I don't have any like dressing that I'm gonna put on here or anything. I mean, I could put like ranch or something else on there that's like in the fridge, but it's not really like, I don't know if it really fits the definition of raw vegan. Plus, with the stuff that I've got in this thing, it would probably be an odd combination. I mean, I might like it maybe, but I don't know. I'm just gonna let it be a dry salad for now. Dear God, thank you for this food, this lovely, green, healthy fruits and veggies and mushroom food here, salad I'm about to eat. Bless all the people and things that played a role in getting it to me. And may the food be used for fuel in my body and for my spirit. Use it all for the highest possible purpose and outcome. Thank you. Amen. Alright, now let's see. Start eating it here. Mm. Mm-hmm. Whew. Yeah. Huh. Almost feel like I'm getting full. Finished. Good Lord. Mm. Mm. Yeah. Hmm. Let's see. My belly. I actually feel kind of full. What do you know? It is possible. Mm. Oh, wow. Mm. Uh, yeah, I guess you could call that, if you're going by the Hobbit diet, I guess you could call that second breakfast. Or, in my case, I'll just call it lunch. Good Lord. I'm full now. Wow. Ugh. All right. Finished my food, finished my water. Man, I'm so full, I'm out of breath. Ugh. I'm gonna let that rest for now. And thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.